Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, February 12th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in College Park. That's where Prince George's police are investigating a murder-suicide that involved 3 University of Maryland college students. Officials confirm that one of them is the shooter. CTV's Makia Turner has the story.
Well, tragedy hits this off-campus home behind me where 3 University of Maryland students lived. This after one of the roommates turned on the other 2.
I don't want to live in fear.
Neighbors living off 36th Avenue in College Park are weighed down by an uneasy feeling today.
It's definitely a little nerve-wracking.
That's because many of them woke up frightened by several gunshots that rang out early this morning.
We were sitting in our living room, and about 1 a.m. we heard about 10 shots go off. And we couldn't decide if they were firecrackers or guns.
The wife heard the shots, yeah. She came, woke me
Frank
up.
Keeler has lived in this neighborhood for more than a decade, and he says he was shocked when he stepped out of his home to see what went on.
A body was laying right here next to a black car. After about 5 minutes of trying to work on him, they pushed him down the street.
This is the house that Prince George's police responded to after getting a call about a shooting that happened just before 1 a.m. When they arrived, they found 2 men fatally shot and 1 who survived. University of Maryland's president shared his thoughts at an afternoon press conference.
My thoughts are that this is a great tragedy for the University of Maryland entire community, and our thoughts and our prayers are with the victims and their loved ones.
Officials have identified the suspect as 23-year-old Davon Green. He was an engineering graduate student at the University of Maryland whose family tells police that he'd been suffering from a mental illness over the last year. The victim was 22-year-old Stephen Rain of Silver Spring. He remains in the hospital.
Our investigation reveals that the suspect, who lived inside the home, had set several small fires in and around the house, both inside, in the basement, and in the backyard. One of the students noticed the suspect reaching into his waistband for a gun. That student then began to run away from the home. As he did, he heard gunshots, and then very quickly realized he had been hit.
Well, people in this neighborhood weren't the only ones made aware about this incident. A campus alert was sent out to University of Maryland students this morning. In College Park, I'm Makia Turner, CTV News.
And police did recover the suspect's 9mm handgun and a bag of various other weapons from the scene. A memorial service at the university will be held tonight at 7 p.m. Well, you could soon see your monthly natural gas bill go up under legislation before the Maryland General Assembly. It would be a $2 hike that would go into effect this summer. The additional funds would allow gas companies to make improvements to aging pipelines near neighborhoods and schools. But a Democratic lawmaker says that consumers should not have to shoulder the cost up front.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to share that.
The way rate setting works now, I know it's a little complicated. The companies are supposed to go out, make the investment, and then come back and ask for that investment to be reimbursed through the rates. And then the Public Service Commission can decide, was it a prudent investment? Was it prudently done? And they might say, all right, you get 50% or you get 0. But the risk is on the company because they are a monopoly. This bill says the risk goes to the ratepayer. We'll pay up front for this work to be done. It might be important work, but we have to pay for it, so the risk is on the consumer, and I think that's unfair.
Maryland ranks 9th among states with the most aging pipes. The rate hike bill before the legislature is expected to pass as early as this week. Well, 2 Maryland lawmakers and gambling supporters from Prince George's County are sponsoring legislation that would strip the state comptroller of some of his tax collecting duties. The bills are sponsored by Delegate Derek Davis on the House side, and in the other chamber, Senate President Mike Miller and Majority Leader Robert Garagiola. The proposals would reassign the tasks of regulating and collecting taxes on alcohol, tobacco, and motor fuel to the State Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation. While sponsors say the bill would cut costs. Comptroller Peter Franchot tells the Washington Times that he sees the move as political payback from Democratic leaders for his opposition to gambling. Franchot was an outspoken opponent of a bill passed last year and approved by voters in the fall, allowing table games at the state's existing casinos and a new location in Prince George's County. While a number of gun control proposals are being heard in Annapolis, one state official puts a different kind of safety measure to action. Attorney General Douglas Gansler has announced that May 11th will mark the first annual Gun Turn-In Day. The effort will give Marylanders a chance to get rid of illegal or unwanted firearms without showing identification. Gansler and his office are working with local prosecutors and police to set up drop-off points throughout the state. The Attorney General also says he plans to add his own gun control proposal to the General Assembly's legislative stack. Well, 2 Maryland delegates joined the growing list of possible candidates seeking to succeed Doug Gansler as Attorney General. William Frick of Montgomery County and Aisha Braveboy of Prince George's have reaffirmed their interest in running for the job that conducts legal business for the state. Braveboy has been a member of the House since 2007 and is chair of the Legislative Black Caucus. 2 other lawmakers, Senators Brian Frosch of Montgomery County and Delegate John Cardin of Baltimore County, have already formed exploratory committees for the race. Meantime, Republicans are seeking to fill the seat vacated last month by Anne Arundel County Executive John Leopold after he was convicted of misconduct in office. Several people are vying for that position, including Kendall Ehrlich, the wife of former Governor Robert Ehrlich.